and welcome to World War G. I'm Troy.
Troy is literally one of a kind. He's a goblin or a hobbit or a kobold, which is a type of gremlin.
I'm AJ.
AJ? What kind of name is AJ? Oh, you race cars?
Okay, so before we start, we wanted to do something that we haven't really mentioned a lot lately, and we want to bring it back up.
Right.
And that is our Patreon page. So, at current, we have 4 patrons.
Yes.
Which is honestly better than I thought we'd have. And so we would like to encourage those listening to go and sign up for our Patreon. You can sign up if you want to hear all of our episodes in full. You can sign up for $1 a month.
Yeah, that's not bad at all.
That's it.
Yeah.
Just $1 a month. Now, if you want to do more, if you want to do 3, 5, or 7, we have a bunch of other different perks. Like you can hear our DLCs. You can, we're planning some other things. Like we want to start doing video conferences and stuff with our patrons, and
we definitely have quite a few things in the works.
Yeah, we have a bunch of stuff we're gonna do. So, that being said, please head to our Patreon page, patreon.com/worldwarg, and sign up if you wouldn't mind.
Yeah.
Okay. So now we got that out of the way. That's the business. Let's get to the fun stuff with how does it taste?
How does that taste? How does that taste? How does it taste?
Now, Troy didn't let me see this one before we started. I was just like, oh, what are we going to be like taste testing? And he's just like, nope. He even has it like wrapped in a bag.
Yep. So here's what I want you to ask me. I want you to ask me, hey, what's the name of the thing we're eating today? Go ahead, ask me.
All right, what? I'll play along here.
Okay.
What is the name of the thing we're eating today, Troy?
I have no idea.
Really?
I have no clue.
Where did you find this? Did you find this at your work?
I found this at Smith's.
Okay.
At the Smith's Marketplace in North Ogden.
Right.
Do you know what that says? Because I don't.
No.
No,
it's all Japanese to me.
Yeah, it's in a different language. I think that's exactly what it is. The only things I can read on this package are oat, milk, and crunch.
What more do you need to know about it?
So what it looks like...
They had me at oat.
Yeah. I wasn't sold. They had me at milk.
Yeah.
I was oat, maybe. Milk, okay, now I'm in.
They kind of look similar to... they have these Japanese little bears, like panda bears, that have a filling inside of them. They look like kind of like a mix between that.
Oh, they smell good. So, grab one. So there's this cereal out right now that's called Craze. I think Kellogg's makes it, where it has this little oat thing around it and then fudge in the oat piece.
Yeah.
So I think this might be very similar to that.
It looks like a puffy wheat check, but solid.
Why does that taste like matches?
Matches?
I taste... like, you know how when you light a match, blow it out, and that smoke smell?
Yeah.
That's what I taste. Of course, that could be my...
messed up.
fucked up senses, but...
Yeah. There's a specific cereal. The fudge itself reminds me of...
It reminds me of a Keebler. Keebler cookies.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. With a little bit more of an oaty flavor to it. Like healthier. A healthy Keebler.
Yeah. You're welcome to more if you want.
Would these be good with milk?
They might. But they're not like... it's not a cereal. Because it comes in a tiny little box. So I don't know. Like, it's just a little snack, I guess. Right?
Yeah.
Okay,
not bad at all.
I don't taste matches anymore. I don't taste anything anymore. It's gone. I tasted it for a sec, now it's gone.
I don't even know what we would call these.
They name it on here because they have this handy like English paper that they pasted on the back. They call it cereal Choco.
Oh, okay.
So it is cereal. Like I don't know.
One thing I really do like about Japanese treats and sweets, they're not as super sweet as like some of the American stuff that we'll get.
Yeah.
It's more subtle and kind of more refreshing.
Like if that was an American snack,
Yeah.
it would come in like 17 different varieties,
Right.
right? And it would have like sprinkles on it.
It would also be frosted.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%.
Those are actually pretty good.
They're not horrible.
No.
They're not bad. It's very subtle in its chocolate-ness.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So out of 5, whatever the heck those are, what are you giving it?
I think I'm at like after having a couple more, I think I'm at like a 3. Yeah. They're not bad at all.
That's what I was thinking too.
Like I was thinking they're above average for what they are. But yeah. And they pack quite a bit of like fudge in them.
The Japanese, they're very good at packing fudge. Very good. Okay. Yeah, I don't know what these are supposed to be called, but down at where I found those, down this Smith's Marketplace, they had a bunch of stuff, like just weird. I say weird. Those weird non-American foods, but like they have a bunch of different Asian foods, different Mexican foods.
Kind of a like taste or different tastes from around the world.
Yeah, and they had like weird generic drinks and stuff. Like, I'll be going back there.
See if you can't find anything else really random.
Mm-hmm. Like they had shrimp chips.
Ugh.
They were like pork. They looked like pork rinds, but it said they were made with like actual shrimp.
They puffed up shrimp.
So I don't know. That might be a future.
Have you ever gone to Ocean Mart in Roy before? It's an Asian market.
No, I haven't.
They've got a restaurant inside of it, and they have a really good dim sum, and also
dim sum what?
But that's also where I got like the supplies to make boba tea.
Oh yeah,
on kind of a boba kick as of late. There's a little place in downtown Ogden that sells it, and it's delicious.
Okay. All right. Well, there you go. If you can find it, pick up whatever it is. Choco cereal, I guess. I took a picture of it, and I'll put it on Facebook so you can see what the heck the box looks like. Okay. Now let's get to Happy Birth Death Day. This is one of my favorite segments where we go through famous people who were born and died on this day, April 25th.
I hope it's a good one.
I have 4 of each.
And you said that you also pulled up their IMDb.
Well, those who died. Yeah. So the ones that were born this day, you have definitely a better chance of knowing who they are than those who died.
Okay.
Okay. So, first one, born in 1940. Oh, Al Pacino.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
That's right, I was born on this day. 1940. Long time ago.
That's crazy. A lot of these actors, you don't really, like, you've seen so much of their work that you don't really picture them as old. But now you see them in, like, more recent stuff, and you're just like, oh, geez.
Yeah.
Oh, wow, okay.
That cereal Choco's coming back. Actually, my favorite Al Pacino performance, oddly enough, it's not The Godfather. It's not, anything like that. It was in Dick Tracy.
Really?
Mm-hmm. as Big Boy Caprice. I don't know why. That's my favorite performance of his because it's over the top, and it's like crazy Al Pacino doing crazy Al Pacino things. But also born on this day in 1964, Hank Azaria.
Oh, I was gonna say, actually, I just watched recently, well, like 2 weeks ago for the first time ever, Dog Day Afternoon
Oh yeah,
with him in it. It was better than I thought. Like it was pretty heartfelt, and the dude's got some acting chops for
Okay.
sure.
well, yeah, he does.
Attica.
Yeah. Is that where he says that?
Yes.
That thing? Okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I said, on 1964, also on this day, Hank Azaria. If you don't know his name, believe me, you know his voice. Let me run down a few of his characters. Oh, comic book guy.
Apu?
Apu.
Yeah.
Formerly. Chief Wiggum. Let me just pull it up.
The Smurfs. He was also in Mystery Men, Hop, Godzilla, the 1998.
Oh yeah, he was in that.
Friends, Along Came Polly, Night at the Museum. Yeah.
So,
Dodgeball, Anastasia,
yeah.
Year One.
Trying to bring up.
Oh, just his voice acting career?
Yeah, yes. Okay. Most notably, he did Mo Sislak, bartender Mo. He did Chief Wiggum, comic book guy, Snake Jailbird, formerly Lou, formerly Apu, Carl Carlson, Bumblebee Man, and others.
Who was he in Ice Age?
In Ice Age?
Yeah, they pulled that up, but I can't for the life of me think who he played.
He probably was just some bit part, I would imagine. Just
Oh, it doesn't even say which character he played. Yeah. But dang, the dude's been around for years.
Yes. Yep. Yes, like him, Dan Castellaneta, and Harry Shearer are like all the voices of The Simpsons. Yeah. Like they do like 80% of the Simpsons characters.
That's a nice paycheck, huh?
Probably. Last time I heard, it was almost $500,000 per episode.
Wow,
that they make.
That's insane. Which The Simpsons has gone on for years.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. They weren't making that much to start.
No.
But yeah, that's where they are now. Anyway. Also born on this day, 1969, Renee Zellweger. You don't hear much about these days. She hasn't really been in the spotlight, but you know her from like Bridget Jones, those movies. You know her from other movies where she squinted. What else has she been in? Hang on.
Jerry Maguire.
Jerry Maguire. Yes.
Cold
Chicago.
Mountain.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
B Movie. Me, Myself, and Irene. Dazed and Confused. New in Town. No, she hasn't been in much recently that I'm seeing.
No, not really.
Judy, 2019, and then Bridget Jones, like you said, Bridget Jones' Baby, 2016.
Yeah, she had some work done recently, where before, you remember, her eyes were very squinty.
Mm-hmm.
They're not anymore. Like she had like an eye lift or something. So maybe that's why she backed out of the spotlight for a while. I don't know.
Is that because a lot of the times these celebrities, you know them for the certain look that they have, right?
Yeah.
They're known for it.
Yeah.
But then to change that up, that's a bold move.
Mm-hmm. And then finally, born on this day in 1976, Tim Duncan. Former NBA All-Star. Played for the Spurs.
For forever.
Many years. I think that was the only
Yeah.
team he ever played for, right? If I'm not mistaken.
sure. But that's what was kind of cool during that era. You had these teams that all had two big all-stars.
Yeah.
They just stuck with the team. Him and David Robinson.
Mhm. I was actually able to see David Robinson's last game against the Jazz.
Really?
That was cool. Yep.
That's...
And when he went off the court for last time, everybody stood up and clapped and cheered, and yeah, it was pretty cool.
Spent his entire 19 years playing for the San Antonio Spurs.
There you go.
19 years. Wow.
That's a long time.
Yeah.
On one team. All right, so now, to those that died this day, in 1995, Ginger Rogers. She was an American actress, dancer, and singer during the golden age of Hollywood and is often considered an American icon. She won an Academy Award for Best Actress for her starring role in Kitty Foyle, but is best remembered for performing during the 1930s in RKO's musical films with Fred Astaire. Her career continued on stage, radio, and television throughout much of the 20th century. So anytime you hear the names Fred and Ginger, that's who it is. It's Fred Astaire and Ginger Rogers.
All right.
Yeah. Also died on this day in 2002, Lisa Lopes, also known as Lisa Left Eye Lopes. She was an American rapper, singer, songwriter, and record producer and dancer. Lopes was a member of the R&B girl group TLC. Besides rapping and singing backing vocals on TLC recordings, Lopes was one of the creative forces behind the group. She received more co-writing credits than the other members. She also designed the outfits and staging for the group and contributed to the group's image, album titles, artwork, and music videos. Through her work with TLC, Lopes won 4 Grammys. And she died in a car accident. She was working on a documentary at the time of her death.
Her documentary, on her life?
It was... I don't know if that's what it was exactly.
Right.
But it was rebranded and then called The Last Days of Left Eye. Debuted on VH1 in May of 2007.
How come I've never heard of her?
You've heard the band TLC, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Don't Go Chasing Waterfalls, Yeah, she was part of that group.
Okay.
She was always the one that had the thing under her left eye.
That's kind of her look.
Yeah. It was like a little bandage or something, or glittery something. She always had it under her left eye. Also died on this day in 2007. Oh, she was 30, by the way, when she died.
Dang.
Ginger Rogers was 83. Died on this day in 2007 at the age of 69, Bobby Pickett, or Bobby Boris Pickett. Now, again, you may not know the name, but you'll know the song he was known for. He was an American singer, songwriter, actor, and comedian known for co-writing and performing the 1962 hit novelty song Monster Mash.
Oh, man.
That was him.
Wow. That's right up there with, Happy Birthday.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I always wanted to have just that one hit,
Mm-hmm.
where you never had to work again.
Yeah. And that just carried you on.
Especially if it's like a holiday song, like a Halloween or Christmas song, or...
Why not one of those less underrated holidays, like, St. Patrick's Day? You came up with a iconic St. Patrick's Day song,
Yeah.
I mean, I guess there is a lot of, Irish folk songs.
It's about, Irish drinking songs.
Yeah.
I think your best bet would be something in Christmas.
Really?
Yeah. Though it is a very crowded market.
Right. But there is only about like 20 or 30 songs that
Yeah.
they just play on repeat or have other artists cover it.
So if you get lucky, like Mariah Carey did,
Right.
which All I Want for Christmas Is You,
Mm-hmm.
which was recent-ish, last 20 years, but it's not like a Christmas classic, and
Yeah.
sure she gets all the money for that once Christmas rolls around. But yeah, he died. Bobby Pickett died of leukemia, 2007.
Looking at some of the other ones. Monster Swing, Monster Rap, Transylvania Twist.
Yeah. So what he did is he went back to that Monster Mash well, like dozens of times.
Me and My Mummy.
Mm-hmm. And just basically rebranded and redid the same song for years.
Seriously.
Yeah.
It looks like it all came out in 1962. Like all these different songs. Let's Fly Away, the original Monster Mass. What the? Huh. That's crazy. Man, set.
Yeah. Also died on this day in 2009 at the age of 86, B. Arthur. She was an American actress, comedian, and activist. She began her career on stage in 1947. She won the 1966 Tony Award for Best Featured Actress in a Musical. She went on to play Maude Finley on the 1970 sitcom All in the Family. And Maude, the spinoff, as well as Dorothy Zbornak on the 1980s 1990 sitcom The Golden Girls. She won Emmy Awards for Outstanding Lead Actress in a Comedy Series for Maude and The Golden Girls. Then she starred in 2002. She starred in the one-woman show B. Arthur on Broadway, Just Between Friends. So there you go.
That's quite the career.
Yep. Apparently, she was also part of the, just scrolling down here, the United States Marine Corps.
Say what?
Mm-hmm. Back in 1943. Let's see. I want to see, because it has her card, identification card here. During World War II, Arthur enlisted as one of the first members of the United States Marine Corps Women's Reserve in 1943. After basic training, Arthur served as a typist at Marine headquarters in Washington, D.C. in June 1943. The Marine Corps accepted her transfer request to the Motor Transport School at Camp Lejeune, North Carolina. Arthur then worked as a truck driver and dispatcher in Cherry Point, North Carolina between 1944 and 1945. She was honorably discharged at the rank of Staff Sergeant in September 1945.
Wow. I did not know that.
That's cool. She was kind of a badass.
Right?
And I actually think Betty White. Yeah, Betty White also served.
Yeah.
In the same sort of capacity.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Of course, she was in California. So.
She serviced the troops.
No. Come on now.
You're talking about Betty White.
So yeah, that was Happy Death Day. So, now let's get into This Week in Geek.
This Week in
Geek.
So, for fans of How I Met Your Mother, it seems the journey for hopeless millennial romantics hasn't ended just quite yet. On April 21st, just a couple of days ago, Hillary Duff confirmed that she will be producing and starring in a How I Met Your Mother sequel for HBO. Hillary Duff's character, Sophie, already billed as a female version of the lovable Ted Mosby, tells her son the story of how she met his dad. And they originally, they tried this back in 2014 with Greta Gerwin. She was going to be playing, but it was weird because rather than it being like How I Met Your Father, it was going to be How I Met Your Dad, which I thought was kind of a misstep. And
yeah.
It's
a little weird.
It writes itself, dude. Your father. But Hillary Duff, like they also like went on to say in this article that because she was supposed to do initially, and we talked about this before on the podcast, that she was supposed to reprise her role as Lizzie McGuire.
Yeah.
But that kind of fell through. So this
Right.
is the next project that she's jumping onto. I'm perfectly fine with this. The only problem that I have is I'm not a huge fan when actors also executive produce something.
Yeah. It can really swing either way because they usually have a bunch of creative control
Right.
that way.
Yeah.
And so they don't get told no.
Like at all. That
Yeah.
oh, perhaps this isn't a good idea, or let's let's try it. No, this is what I want to do.
Yeah.
This is how it's going to be.
So it may not be, so much as a spin-off to this show as more as kind of a vanity project for her. It
Right.
might end up going that way. But
She's supposed to just like go around the big city with her friends, and it catapults us back to 2021, where she will be, with her close knit friends amidst the big city life.
okay, great. Wonderful.
Yeah.
It's a spin-off to How I Met Your Mother, and it stars Hillary Duff. Those are two things I'm not interested in. So,
Hillary Duff, like back in the day, like she was pretty. I don't know. I had a huge crush on her, especially like back in the Lizzie McGuire days.
sure, I did too.
But I haven't seen her in much.
No.
Like at all.
She's made a few Hallmark movies.
Mm-hmm.
Like maybe a rom-com here and there with like her sister, Haley Duff, but it's
So does that kind of when you haven't done a ton of work and you're really looking for the next big project and they've given you the go ahead they've greenlit this project for you, do you try to force the comedy and you force it to where it comes across as like fake, or they're trying too hard? Because I know that you didn't watch much of How I Met Your Mother.
I didn't watch any of How I Met Your Mother.
But some of the best jokes and the best lines were just kind of like little stupid quirky things that they did.
Well, see, that's the thing. How I Met Your Mother was a standard sitcom, 3-camera sitcom. I assume was filmed in front of a studio audience.
Yeah.
So you had the generic or the general laughter behind it. So is this going to be that, or are they going to do something else where it's not in front of a live audience? Because if you're not going to
laugh track,
no, I wouldn't even do that. That would be weird. But if they're not going to do that, if they're not going to have an audience, then you have to write the entire series completely different than you would normally.
right? Where you don't have those pauses and those like comedic timing jokes,
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Hmm.
But yeah, like I said, those are two things I'm not really interested in, so I'll probably be passing on this.
Right.
Another thing I'll probably be passing on, Vin Diesel to star in Rock'em Sock'em Robots movie for Universal. Let me say that again. Vin Diesel is going to star in a Rock'em Sock'em Robots film.
But this movie, it's about family.
Yeah, it's family.
Well, that's Sylvester Stallone.
It's the same thing. It's Sylvester Stallone. Vin Diesel.
We were talking about this before the episode. It really reminds me of that movie Hugh Jackman did, Real Steel.
Yeah.
Like, beat for beat.
Yeah. So, let me see if I can get like a description of this
Kind of a
film.
synopsis.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe not. That being said, here's where you can find us. Go to patreon.com/WorldWarG. Like I said at the beginning, you can sign up for just $1 a month, like our buddy Nate Butler did. But if you don't sign up, you can also listen to half-hour versions of our episodes at worldwarg.podbean.com. We're also on facebook.com/worldwarg. You can find our merchandise at tpublic.com. You can also email us anytime,
Day or night.
at worldwargpod@gmail.com. So, this has been World War G. That has been AJ.
That has been Troy.
Stay geeky, my friend.